Hey, is this Ralph?
Why, yes, Miss Ralph. How can I help you?
Ralph, I need a guest for Sunday. You think maybe you can pull a little bit of a RubADicked for us?
Well, I don't know. What do you have in mind?
Well, I'm thinking that maybe if you RubADicked it just right, I might get some reaction out of some people.
Well, I can do that for you. What's in it for me?
You might just get nominated to win a RubADicked.
What's that?
A RubADicked is the award for the biggest RubADicker of the year.
Well, by golly, let's do it, Manny. Let's get them.
Cue the music. Hey, this is Manny Moonraker, and welcome to episode 50. Yes, that probably was over the top. I know you're thinking now. You're thinking, what the hell is he doing now? Who the hell is Ralph? Why is he calling in on Sunday? We already got RubADicked last Sunday. Why is it going to happen again? The reason why is because I have to light the fuse. This is UFO Buster Radio, in case you didn't hear it in the beginning, in case you didn't figure out when you heard that cool intro, that opening track. It is UBR, and the extended group UBR Truth Seekers has spoken, and so have individuals on YouTube, on Spreaker.com, and other platforms. Many of you were somewhat concerned. No. Many of you were fighting mad. I could actually see in reading some of these posts that you had a crowd together and you all got the pitchforks and knives and torches, and you were out to get the RubADicked monster that crept into your ears. And like I said in that episode, it is important that we all just get along and listen to whatever you feel is part of the ufology of RubADicked, because the only way you're going to stay safe is if you get RubADicked once in a while to remind you that this is something that happens. This is a real situation. You're not in any way safe from a good RubADicked, even on UFO Buster Radio. Now, I say RubADicked lightly because we really want to explore every single facet of ufology. And if it turns out that someone comes on here and you think it's a RubADicker, you are more than welcome to say, Manny, I think Ralph he's a big fucking RubADicker, and I'm tired of what he's saying. And I'm going to tell people on him. And just for, as they say, shits and giggles, let me just read a synopsis of some of the comments that I got. And just in general, because we have a story to talk about anyway. So Alyssa said in the UBR Truth Seekers, Gary Parker, enough already. I'm going to email NASA about what a fucking RubADicker you are. Alyssa, there are a few people who shared your opinion about Gary's story. One of them was James. And he didn't really come out and say that Gary was a RubADicker, but he did say that at the point where Gary flip-flopped regarding Christ coming back with the alien, at one point he said there was no Christ, and then on the other he said, Christ is coming with the ET. James felt that we should have stopped the conversation at that point and really dug into why he flip-flopped. And honestly, James, he made it clear in the podcast that he was not a religious guy, so to try to have a conversation as to why he flip-flopped, at the time it really made no sense. Because it's not like he was going to present an argument for why or why not Christ would be there at the end, or at the rapture, probably the single biggest rubberdicking event in humankind history. So no, I didn't explore that. It just, as they say, it was par for the course. My aim here and for the next few interviews is to present you guys with another perspective. And the thing is, you guys know that you're here with me, UFO Buster Radio, and you're free to express your mind. And if you haven't done so yet, don't be afraid. Go ahead and do it. Join the group UBR Truth Seekers. Follow me on Facebook, UFO Buster Radio, Manny Moonraker pages, Instagram, Twitter. And if you want to call someone a rubberdicker, go ahead. That's what we're here for. To explore rubberdicking from every particular angle there is. Some of you might enjoy that. Some of you may not. But the whole idea is that we have to get a picture of what's going on. We have people who are saying there's ETs coming from this part of the galaxy, they're coming from that part of the universe, they're coming from underground, they're under Antarctica, they're sitting in my living room, or they're flying overhead every other day. Whatever the case may be, the only way to get to the truth is to pretty much just get every goddamn angle that there is out there and throw it up and see what the hell sticks. Something's gotta make sense. But what I do know is this much. There are so many ETs, alien entities from 4.2 far, contacting so many different people, it almost seems that we are the only ones who are not contacting everybody else. It seems like it's a big friggin' goddamn community where every fucking alien out there is just hanging out, drinking beer and, shooting the shit. Human beings and mankind have no clue what's going on because we have our heads up our ass and we can't see past the solar system for some reason. Anyway, I was just, rambling on. And we had another individual who said, I pretty much stopped at the 24-minute mark. I'm thinking that they probably were sitting at their desk and they started, banging on the desk or saying, this is bullshit. I can't do it no more. That's okay too. As a matter of fact, if you have that kind of an outburst, please record it. Send it to me so that I can play it on the podcast because we like to share. Sharing is caring, and why not share your frustrations with us as well? I get frustrated too, but rubberdickers rule the world, and so we have to keep an eye on them.
Hey, this is Jerome, and from planet Earth, you're listening to the UFO Buster Radio Show right here.
Okay, well, the actual news story today, it wasn't all about the rubberdicking, but for some people it is about the rubberdicking. It's about bringing the rubberdickers to light, and eventually at the end of the year, we'll award the main rubberdicker because you guys get to vote on who that is. And we'll get that out pretty soon. We'll put out a survey, a poll, whatever you want to call it. A ballot if you want, something for you to submit a name so that we can vote on the rubberdickies and show our appreciation for all the year long of rubberdicking we've explored together. And the biggest rubberdicker is going to get their just desserts. But let's go back to this story. It was in the Mirror UK, and what it's about is that a woman, here's the title, a woman who believes aliens abducted her aunt and uncle on UFO says, I want the truth. The title does not read like frickin' English, even though it's coming from the goddamn UK. Woman who believes aliens abducted her aunt and uncle on UFO says, I want the truth. I don't think they were on the UFO when they got abducted. Somebody abducted this freaking title, but anyway. The author and researcher and self-proclaimed ufologist is Kathleen Marden. She is the niece of Barney and Betty Hill. For those of you who are familiar with the story, back in 1961, Betty and Barney Hill were chilling out, driving through the backwoods of New Hampshire, and they got abducted. Allegedly, supposedly. Some of the evidence in this particular story, number one, was their story, because it meshed. They have pretty much the same accounting of what happened. They also had a significant amount of missing time. In addition, there was physical evidence. According to Kathleen Marden, the physical evidence was a pink substance that was found on Betty's dress, and along with the dress, there were also boot marks on their car. So E.T. decided to jump off the ship and stomp all over the damn car they were on just to leave some tracks. Now, Kathleen is based out of Florida, and of course, she's written books about the situation and other incidents that she has researched. She believes that she was truly and unconditionally unbiased by the fact that she's related to Betty and Barney Hill, and totally believes that they did not lie. They did not tell a lie. Yeah, they didn't. They got abducted. They got probed. I want to know what that pink substance is, because it could be so many different things. Just so many. Anyway, her investigation was really something else, because Betty and Barney Hill kind of became, the poster children in the 60s for being abducted. And so other people that were having similar experiences actually were reaching out to Betty and Barney and say, hey, I got probed too. Tee-hee-hee. So I have a audio recording from a YouTube video. The link to the video is in the description if you want to take a moment and, gander upon Kathleen in her, she's probably like in her 60s or 70 something. She was 13 when this happened. So check this out as Kathleen actually presents a letter that she found, which was addressed to her aunt, about another woman that was having very peculiar situations going on.
This is some information that occurred in that general time frame that I think is very interesting, because it's been something that really has not been told to the American public before. I have the file on this, and it took place in southern Maine. Admiral Herbert Knowles lived there with his wife, Helen. And at that time, there was a woman named Frances Swan, who was a neighbor of theirs just down the street. And she started to have contact with a couple of extraterrestrials, she said. It was in an unconventional way. One was named Panar, and one was named Alpha. And she said that they were traveling in these huge, huge ships that contained motherships and smaller craft, and that they were in the outer atmosphere circling around the Earth, and that they were here to help humans. They were very concerned about nuclear weapons. They were concerned about what we were doing to our planet. I found a letter in my Aunt Betty Hill's file, and this is Betty up here. And what I found is that Admiral Knowles became so interested in Frances Swan's information that he took her letter to Eisenhower, he took it to the head of the Navy, he took it to the Air Force. There was a lot of interest in this case. And what you can see here is a letter that was written by Helen Knowles to my Aunt Betty. And I'm going to read part of that to you about her memory of what had occurred. She said, Herbie not only helped her out, meaning Frances Swan, but personally endorsed her letter after he read it. Then, because its contents were of vital national importance, he addressed a personal letter to Washington, which brought a group of departmental top brass to our home. Much correspondence ensued, and when they learned that the information described in her letter was not orthodox or obtained by conventional means, they withdrew their interest and they went home. And she added, and I was getting tired of making sandwiches for that crowd during that time. There was interest at the FBI, And this is one of the pages that actually Grant Cameron found and sent to my Aunt Betty. And so I found it in my Aunt Betty's files. And it said that it was a matter for the Office of Naval Intelligence. Said Knowles and others had buzzing sounds in their ears before receiving messages, just like Francis Swan did. So they had tried it too, and they received messages from these alleged aliens who are up in these huge motherships. The report said the above information is being made available to the Office of Special Investigations at the U.S. Air Force.
Okay, so there you go. Isn't it crazy? And this is why I am bringing other perspectives into this UFO talk. So you have someone in the 60s who becomes a poster child for being abducted and probed. And basically, Kathleen comes across this letter from someone whose experience seems a lot like it's 4.2 far. Someone forgot to take their medication. But is that person wrong? Did they not experience this? Can't we just take a freaking brush and paint all these rubber dickers with the same color? The answer is you can't. Because you can't take that lady's story and say that just because her story sounds so outlandish that Betty and Barney Hill is full of shit as well. And this is just me making a point. We have no idea if that woman actually had those two entities giving her all that information. We do not know. But what we do know is that we have to keep an open mind if we're ever going to get to where we need to be in this topic. This is your hostess with the mostest, Manny the Nutty Moonraker. Sayonara.